Welcome to another exciting episode of NRP's Better Health listeners. I'm your host, Sana, and today we have an extraordinary special guest with us, Satyen Raja. Now, listeners, let me share a bit about Satyen with all of you. He is a world renowned teacher, mentor, and guide, often referred to as the CEO Oracle, for his unique ability to transform businesses from struggle to a state of passion, purpose, and flow. With over 30 years of experience in building and scaling businesses, Satyen has helped countless leaders achieve peak success and personal fulfillment. So, everyone, get ready for an enlightening conversation about enlightened business growth and developing higher consciousness. So, with that, Satyen, welcome to the show, and it is an honor to have you with us today.
A pleasure to be here this morning, and aloha from the beautiful islands of Hawaii.
Aloha and namaste. Uh,
Namaste.
great. Satyen, before we talk about the topic, if you could share a bit about your journey, and I know it can take a lot of time because it's a lot of chapters, but what brought you to the world of business, entrepreneurship, and especially the concept of enlightenment?
The essence is being raised in an Indian family, an entrepreneurial family.
Mm-hmm.
I was deeply immersed in business as a child, seeing this all around me. And I saw the good, the bad, the positive sides, the overwhelm, the struggle sides. I saw the opportunities and I saw the pitfalls growing up in my family. And as a young fellow, I was very inspired by spirituality and martial arts. And as I went down that path of spirituality, meditation, spiritual teaching, spiritual masters, as well as learning about martial arts and Bruce Lee and the teachings of the Shaolin Kung Fu Temple, I realized that I had two sides of my heart. One side was very interested in that metaphysical world as well as the world of martial arts. And because I have family karmas of business, I was also interested in how can we run businesses in a way that are more aligned to spirit, to deeper fulfillment, that take us on a path of enlightenment and growth, not just making money and being successful in the outer world. So these two came together in my world, where I came to realize that the outer level of success is directly dependent on my inner state of being. And so when I'm feeling harmonious, at peace, abundant, conscious, present in my heart, so too my fulfillment, my success in the outer world happens. So that's been my journey now for many decades. And I've been in a very privileged position to be able to serve other business leaders and their families and their teams to discover this place of flow that starts within their own inner being and to help them initiate themselves on the path of the warrior and the sage. So that's been my journey now for many years.
Wow. Spectacular, Satyen, and very grounded, deep-rooted. And what exactly is, do you mean by enlightened business growth? How does it differ from the traditional business models and the growth models we often see entrepreneurs and business people talking about?
Well, many times business leaders and the business models are divorced from their impact to one's personal life, family life, as well as to the greater whole. We look at the business KPIs, we look at the business profits and losses, but they can be very disconnected to the happiness, the joy, the freedom, the fulfillment that we as a leader might be experiencing, or our teams, as well as our subsequent families. If we're overworked, overstrained, overstruggled, pushing extremely too hard, too yang energy, as we say in martial arts, extreme yang burns us out. It creates unhappiness, it creates unfulfillment, struggle, and eventually when the burnout is so strong, we crash, our relationships crash, our health crashes, our state of mind, our well-being gets flushed down the toilet, and then we don't find happiness, no matter how much money we're making. And many of us have heard that money doesn't buy you happiness. It's true. Money can give you a good life of prosperity, but it cannot find happiness. It only magnifies the underlying happiness or unhappiness within ourselves. It magnifies that. So the new model, what I'm proposing, is what if we take on our business and our life as a spiritual path? Like all the great masters have pointed to, that we're all on a spiritual path of continuous evolution. And so the old school business model is sourced in our ego, my win, my success. The more modern schools are sourced in we consciousness. Let's both have a win-win. But the ultimate spiritual path of the businessman and the business leader is recognizing that I am connected and am part of a greater whole, a oneness. And so as I open my consciousness through meditation, through inner spiritual experiences, through guidance, through advice, through awakening my own inner wisdom, then I can transform my personal life as well as my business life to have a omni-win success. Myself, my family, my team, my clients, our society, and ultimately the world can win in a beautiful way rather than there be any losers. This is the new evolution that's happening within ourselves, and it's now appearing in our businesses. And for those of us who are on the leading edge, and many business leaders are, they like to be on the leading edge, they must consider that awakening their true self within themselves is truly a path of integrated success rather than segregated success in one part of the world and then failing in another part of our life.
Mm. Wow. Okay. Thanks. And um, it's really fascinating to see how blending spirituality with business, something as practical as business, it can lead to such profound transformation. How do you help Satyen leaders and entrepreneurs, first of all, discover, realize, accept, and align with their true passion and purpose?
You see, Asana, it's important that, in our Indian philosophy, we all are born with a innate dharma, a path that is uniquely our own and no one else's. Lord Krishna in the Gita says to Arjuna, he says, it's valuable that you live your path, your dharma, rather than be excellent and the top of the game of someone else's. Even if you struggle, find your own and walk that unique path that is innately only yours. And so, as a leader, as a business leader, as business people, we have our own unique dharma. And in this day and age, we are here not only to become a half a human, only on the outside of our life. We're here to become, and part of our dharma in all of us is to become conduits of positivity, conduits of spiritual growth, conduits of contribution. And it's when we're transforming our own personal lives as a way of potent service, our business, we're elevating. What can we do in our business to make it even more healthy, more vital, more honoring of our team? Resting, enjoying peace, enjoying every day, not just the end goal, enjoying our path there, enjoying coming together for higher purposes. How can we create a mission, a vision in our companies that doesn't just inspire us to get more money, but inspires us to be more positive, more connected with each other? What mission and vision can we recreate or up level that inspires our whole team to be better people, to be better, how can I say, aspire for a higher vision? Just like Steve Jobs said, let's make a dent in the universe. This is a big vision for a computer company. It could have been a smaller one, but because he chose the universe, and let's make a positive dent in that, we see now Apple is one of the most successful companies ever. because of this noble, altruistic purpose. Each one of us has a noble, altruistic, dharmic purpose. And when that is uncovered, deepened, awakened, and stoked, and brought into practical, um, online, practically bringing it online with our companies, then we experience a level of really accelerated growth within ourselves, our teams, as well as in the success of the company. And that's where it gets really exciting, where we as businessmen, we want to see that not only is positive thinking just positive, it actually has real results. And it does, as I've seen with hundreds of clients over the years.
Hmm. Wow. And also, can you share a success story with our listeners, where someone actually found their purpose and it significantly impacted their business?
I have so many of these beautiful, so many beautiful. Let me share one that stands out in the moment. One of my mentees invited me to advise his company as a software company at the time. And the software company uh, crafted a technology which detects when breakdown is going to happen in any technology, mechanical technology, much way in advance. And so when I met with his team, they were struggling for over 10 years to try to raise funds for the company, to bring it to market, to bring in investors. And this is a common thing with companies that struggle with very brilliant ideas. Well, he had a brilliant idea with his company, but in such deep struggle that he was being challenged with his wife at home by spending too much time in business 7 days a week to try to keep this noble idea afloat. His team was extremely stressed out, burnout, overwhelmed, people coming, people leaving in the company, always in a 911 position. And he came to me and he says, Satyen, I have a great idea, but it's not taking off. What's going on? So as I took him into the inner work that we do together, he came to realize that he had unconsciously resisted successfully growing the business because if he became rich or wealthy or successful, he felt that his childhood friends would have abandoned him, thinking, oh, you're a rich guy now. You're not a regular one of us. He had this so deeply seated in his unconscious mind that he was sabotaging his success and it wasn't taking off. When we heal that part within him, that part that wanted to have that affection and that agreement from his friends that, hey, it's okay to be successful. When we made that inner work, all of a sudden he realized, now I have got the life force to grow. And I deserve the success. Once he shifted internally that his company deserved the success, then we recrafted a mission statement. And the mission statement was creating a world that doesn't break down. And when we got that mission statement, simple one, creating a world that doesn't break down, because that's what his software does. It detects when trains are going to be breaking down, mechanical stuff will be breaking down, and all the breakdown in all industry happens and can be detected in advance. So he crafted this technology, which is now going in all technologies around the world, all industries all around the world are now taking this on. And happily, he can say he's now fulfilling this mission of ultimately creating a world that doesn't break down. What an incredible vision. No more Exxon Valdez, no more shuttle breakdowns, because things will get fixed beforehand. We can see way beforehand. Now, imagine the consequences to the world because he shifted his internal relationship with his sense of deservingness. And then all of a sudden, within less than 2 years, the company took off, working with his team, his executive team. And then we had a beautiful, very high level exit of the company, which was bought out by a much larger company. And now he's enjoying a life of great success, a great freedom. And he's gone on to become a protector of the Amazon forest from the profits and the success he's achieved. He's now putting his energies into supporting the health and the well-being of Amazonian tribes and the health of the Amazon. So that little shift early on has made such a huge difference and now will for the greater world. We all have that as business leaders within us. We all have that potential within us to not only serve our own life, but to become a greater conduit for betterment for humanity.
That is surreal. That is surreal. Also, have you seen any challenges leaders facing when they try to implement the enlightened business practices? And if yes, then how can they overcome them?
Great question. The number one challenge is each one of us will have a challenge. This is guaranteed. When we shift our paradigm and we up level our paradigm, as the great scientist Albert Einstein said, we cannot solve the problems that we currently have based on the level of thinking that the problems were created in. So as we change and we upgear our mindset, upgear our consciousness, and we upgrade our consciousness, what happens is new solutions arise, new creative ideas arise that are much more brilliant, much more smoother, much more easier to implement because we don't have the interference patterns of ego, fear, and limitation that we've been carrying from previous mindsets. And so we all will face a mindset. It could be fear. It could be letting go of our workaholism because we think that if we work hard, we'll get love, affection, and greater success. If we burn ourselves out like perhaps our parents did, or we see other entrepreneurs do, and we think that's a valiant path of our success. So we have, and what will happen with every entrepreneur and business leader who embarks on this path, they will certainly hit an obstacle, but the obstacle is an attachment to the way they did things based on the success they've had or the imprints they think they've had from the past. True vulnerability and true uh, growth requires us to examine these limiting mindsets, these unconscious constrictions that we have that think we need to work hard, push hard, struggle, crush it. Whereas freedom could be on the other side of one spiritual awakening where we recognize that was just a bunch of baloney that I picked up from the struggle imprints from my family. And so that's one of the number one things that we as entrepreneurs have to face. Struggle imprints, burnout, overworking imprints, valiant hero imprints that we have in our subconscious mind, a sense of lack and unworthiness imprints. I'm not worthy. Deservedness imprints. These are the challenges, but they're not in the outer world. They're all in the inner world within ourselves that manifest in the outer world. And the magic is when we shift on the inside through inner awakening work, then what happens is the outside starts to reflect the inner shifts. In other words, if I'm frowning on the inside, I'm frowning and I look in the mirror with lack, with worry, with overwhelm, the mirror will reflect back when I'm grooming myself in the morning, the same energy. Yet if I'm looking in the mirror with and transmitting from within my own inner being absolute faith, absolute confidence, belief in myself, belief in my team, belief in the vision and the mission that's now grounded in a higher order, in something that's more moving, then the universe will reflect back the very same reflection and energy that I'm transmitting in a higher way. This is the magic that the entrepreneurs I work with experience in really a rapid way. And when they see how their inner terrain is really the great key to their total success, then they happily start shifting and upgrading their mindset and their spiritual attunement. And it's a beautiful process to witness, but it does have some bumps, especially at the beginning.
Wow, wow. Thanks for sharing that, Satyen. And I think creativity and flow are essential for innovation and growth. So how do you help leaders tap into their creativity and achieve a state of flow, harmony in their work?
Well, one of the first thing I do is I forensically Ask them, where is your biggest obstacles, your biggest worries? Where are the dangers in the organization that need to be addressed immediately? Where are the dangers in your personal life that you have to address or should be addressing immediately? For example, your health, or fights with your spouse that are constantly going on, or distancing with your family. So I am like a forensic physician that's looking for where's the pains, where's the struggle, where's the tension. I like to start there, first of all, because this is where the juice, the power of transformation lies, in what we've been resisting or suppressing or denying within ourselves, with our happiness, our abundance, our cash flow. These are all symptoms of something contracted in our being. So I start there where it hurts. And then I take them through guided expansion exercises. Um, they're deeper than meditation. They're much deeper than psychotherapy. They're very exact guided protocols which disassemble the old patterns in our mindset and allow a new, powerful, emergent pattern, which is now grounded in flow state. And then what happens is, you see, flow state is our natural state of being when our fear, our resistances, our denials, our suppressions are removed from our subconscious mind. So that's the main work. We start with removing the subconscious patterns that have contracted the next phase of our evolution. And we do that rapidly, deeply, profoundly, fully. And the experience of this is a state of, someone can come in, a client can come in, I'm scared about this, I'm overwhelmed with this, I'm overwhelmed with the cash flow, or my teams are giving me this type of struggle, or my wife or my teenagers, I'm getting into this constant struggle. Well, we go there, we transform the inner mindset by going through guided experiences that awaken the challenge. And then all of a sudden they notice, they go back to their world upgraded in their mindset, upgraded in the way they relate to others. And I train them in specifically what new stages of communication, new ways of expressing their potency. And then pragmatically, directly, they see the results. And I see them. And this to me is where I get so much joy, is seeing the magic that unfolds when we do the inner work.
Wow. Wow. Also, uh, sustaining growth is the goal for all of us. And apart from that, I think it's going to be quite an interesting aspect. So, making a positive impact on society, it's a noble goal. Although there are businesses who are on a path to do that, but somehow in the hustle and bustle of all, there are quite a lot of deviations. So, how can enlightened business practices contribute to the greater good and positively impact society as well?
Beautiful question. Well, it first starts with us. It doesn't matter what our business is. We could be selling keychains. We could be selling food. We could be selling electronics. We could be selling goods, services. It doesn't matter. Some are obvious directly. You can see they make some type of positive benefit. But ultimately, all trade and all commerce is to uplift society.
Mm.
It's to add contribution. It's not to suck or drain from society so that you can grow. It's to become and to offer goods and services that are circulated for the sake of the greater good. Now, let's say we're selling spanners, or we're selling bikes, or we're selling wrenches, okay? It doesn't seem like such a metaphysically high thing. But what if we started looking at that wrench can tighten up something in a factory that will make the factory stronger, better? We have to look out further than just looking at our spanner or our wrench. We have to realize that someone is going to be using this at home, and we got to imagine them, visualize them, having their life better. And what can I do to make my product, my spanner, my wrench better, cleaner, stronger? What can I do to make it even the sales process simpler, But more importantly, what can I do to make it so that my team are enjoying a better life? What can I do to take a look at their timing, their scheduling, doing fun activities amongst the team? What can I do to foster team unity and abundance and positivity? What can we do as a team so there's more loyalty that we have for each other and less turnover with staff? So the product and the service, yes, that's essential. But first, let's start at the team dynamics. Can I be a better leader? Can I inspire my team to work with more joy, work with more peace of mind, work together with more harmony, with less siloing of egos in there? This is all laid out. We have crafted a training called the Executive Black Belt here at WarriorSage, which is designed to create super teams, to create the most aligned, highly potent, energized, synergized, and positive super teams. And we've implemented this in many different types of companies. And we've seen first, we got to make our home of our companies, whether it's a 2-person employee company or 10,000 employees. We got to make it so that our employees feel that this is the place they wish to be, that they're being honored, respected, cared for, and ultimately loved for being part of the organization. When we start with this higher consciousness and positivity with our companies, then our teammates want to do better. They want to make a better product. They want to be better service to the clients. They want to be a greater, if you will, representative of the company overall. They want to be one for all and all for one, like the Three Musketeers. And the beauty of it is, this is inherent in all people. We all want to work together in a wholesome tribe. The challenge is many business leaders haven't learned the mastery of human dynamics, and therefore many companies fail because they haven't taken into account how to create this dynamic, potent, aligned company dynamics. We've cracked that code, and we've been teaching this now to many companies. And I have a book set called Transcendent CEO and Transcendent Culture, which teaches step by step how to create such a company culture that makes everyone a winner and that makes everyone feel that they're contributing to each other and that they're going to be the best contributors to their customers in society. This is how we do it. We, as the entrepreneur leader, have to start with wanting to take our company to the next stage. And when we do that and we bring our team along with us, then we will have loyal teammates who are earning us money and earning greater success for the whole in a fulfilled, wholesome way, sourced in flow and sourced in fulfillment.
Sourced in flow, sourced in fulfillment. That's such a beautiful quote, Satyen. Great, great. So before we wrap up, of course, if our listeners, especially our entrepreneur friends, our business friends, if they wish to connect with you, explore more about the practices, take that first step initiative towards cultivating enlightened business, how they can do that.
The first step is to start with our enlightened advantage. And our enlightened advantage is a retreat. For me, I like to call it our soul's fire, reigniting our soul's fire. And this is the first initiation in my training to develop enlightened entrepreneurs, warrior sage entrepreneurs, and business leaders. And so you can find how to start this initiation and join me on this initiation where I work with you one-on-one, first of all, to look at what is the biggest obstacle that you are facing within yourself personally and professionally. And I like to start with transforming that right away rather than waiting weeks and months. I like to work with business leaders immediately to work with their 911 situation that they've going on so that they can experience immediate benefits, immediate expansion of their personal, their professional, and their business success. Then we immerse ourselves into a retreat with other business leaders where we do the deep inner work. This is the initiation process. And so you can find all about that. And I invite you to have a meeting with me and to discover more about this with me at warriorsage.com. That's my website, WarriorSage.com. And you'll find out how to start and become part of your initiation to the path of the warrior sage and your ultimate success.
Lovely, lovely. And we'll have all the links in the show notes for our listeners to easily connect with you, Satyen. And thank you so much for bestowing your gift of wisdom, your insights. Uh, they have been truly, truly enlightening and inspiring. So thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to host you.
It's been a joy and an honor, Asana. Thank you so much.
Lovely. That's lovely. And to all of our listeners, I encourage you to explore Satyen's work further, whether it's through his leadership programs, retreats, his one-on-one sessions, or his personal mentorship. You can refer to the links along with the show notes along with this episode. And remember, each step we take towards enlightened business growth brings us closer to inner peace and better health. So stay curious, stay inspired, and keep striving for a harmonious integration of body, mind, and spirit. Until next time on Inner Peace, Better Health, this is your host, Sana, asking you to take care. Thank you.